This might be the most important video you ever watch. If you've ever thought about getting a girlfriend, stop. Women today aren't what they used to be. Their nature, their instincts, their desires, they all work against you. And by the time you realize the truth, it's already too late. Women today are driven by short-term pleasure and fleeting excitement, not by the values of loyalty, commitment, or genuine connection. They seek validation from the endless options they have at their fingertips: social media, dating apps, attention from men in their social circles, so they are never truly satisfied. This means that the second a man stops being a source of excitement, novelty, or social validation, he is disposable. The relationship dynamic is fundamentally broken because modern women have no reason to invest in long-term partnership when they can constantly chase new highs. Men mistakenly believe that commitment will create security, but in reality, it does the opposite. The moment a woman knows she has you, she starts losing attraction. The chase is over, the mystery fades, and she begins to wonder if she could do better. Hypergamy is hardwired into female nature. Women are always looking for the next best option. Even if she is with a great guy, she will subconsciously compare him to every high-status man she encounters, whether in real life or through a screen. The idea that relationships bring happiness is a dangerous illusion. Relationships bring responsibility, expectation, and obligation, but they do not bring fulfillment. A man who dedicates himself to a woman will always find himself sacrificing his goals, his ambitions, and his mental peace to maintain a relationship that is built on shaky ground. The modern woman demands leadership but resents authority, craves affection but disrespects reliability, and desires stability but is addicted to chaos. Time is a man's most valuable resource, and nothing drains time faster than a relationship. The endless texting, the constant check-ins, the emotional labor of managing her moods, all of it takes away from a man's ability to focus on his own success. Every second spent debating what restaurant to eat at, what movie to watch, or how to respond to her passive-aggressive remarks is a second that could have been spent building, improving, and achieving. The average man in a relationship loses thousands of hours in meaningless interactions that serve no purpose other than to temporarily appease a woman who will inevitably become dissatisfied regardless. Women impose an expectation of progression in every relationship. In the beginning, she demands more time, then she wants you to meet her friends, then her family, then she starts making subtle remarks about the future. The relationship is never allowed to stay in the present. It must always be moving towards a next step that benefits her. And if a man resists, he is accused of not taking her seriously, of wasting her time, of being afraid of commitment. The pressure mounts until he either conforms or she leaves in search of someone more willing to submit. The reality is that most men do not even want relationships. They only want control over exclusivity. They want to ensure that the woman they are with is only sleeping with them, and they assume that a relationship is the easiest way to achieve that. But relationships do not guarantee loyalty. Women may give their bodies to one man while giving their attention, admiration, and emotions to others. In a world where attention is currency, a man who provides security but lacks excitement is already being replaced before he even realizes it. When a man commits, he believes he is securing a future with a woman. What he is actually doing is placing himself in a position of weakness. The moment a woman knows she has a man locked down, she begins to take him for granted. His good qualities become expected, his efforts become invisible, and his love becomes routine. She no longer sees him as the strong, independent man she was initially attracted to. She sees him as someone she has conquered. And once a woman feels that she has fully won a man, she begins to seek a new challenge elsewhere. The more time a man spends in a relationship, the more of himself he loses. His focus shifts from his purpose to her needs, his goals become secondary to their shared plans, and his independence is traded for compromise. He begins to shape his actions around what keeps her happy, rather than what keeps him progressing. The strong, ambitious man she was drawn to slowly fades, and in his place is someone more predictable, more accommodating, more ordinary. And the irony? The very changes he makes to keep her are the same changes that cause her to lose attraction. Women punish honesty. They claim to want deep conversations, vulnerability, and emotional openness. But the second a man provides these things, she sees him differently. She no longer views him as mysterious or exciting. He becomes familiar, safe, and less of a challenge. The moment a woman fully understands a man, she begins to emotionally detach. Women are drawn to uncertainty, to men who keep them guessing, to those who operate on their own terms. The more predictable a man becomes, the more she subconsciously begins to seek excitement elsewhere. Social media has made relationships even more unstable. Women today have unlimited access to new options, constant validation, and the ability to compare their man to thousands of others. She no longer evaluates a relationship based on reality. She evaluates it based on the highlights she sees online. If another woman is being taken on expensive vacations, she wonders why her man isn't doing the same. If she sees a man with more status, more money, more attention, she begins to feel that she is missing out. Relationships are no longer about connection. They are about comparison. Success is a man's only real power, and relationships are designed to drain that power. A man in a relationship has less time for work, less energy for growth, and more distractions pulling him away from his mission. Meanwhile, the woman he is dedicating himself to is secretly wondering why he is not more successful. She demands time but respects ambition, expects attention but is attracted to independence. It is a paradox that men can never win. The more time a man spends trying to maintain a relationship, the less attractive he becomes. When a woman is ready to leave, she will tell herself whatever she needs to believe in order to justify it. She will rewrite history, create problems that were never there, and convince herself that the man she once adored is no longer enough. And when she finally decides to walk away, she will feel no remorse. Her emotions will tell her that leaving is the right choice. And once a woman has made up her mind, there is no argument, no logic, and no reasoning that can change it. Everything has a run rate. No relationship is permanent, no commitment is forever, and no amount of effort can prevent the inevitable. Women do not fall out of love for logical reasons. They fall out of love because their emotions shift. A man could do everything right, provide, protect, stay loyal, and remain consistent. And still, one day she will wake up and feel differently. And once that feeling is gone, she is already gone. Every minute spent in a relationship is a minute that could have been spent achieving something greater. A man's purpose is not to serve a woman, entertain a woman, or cater to a woman's emotional needs. His purpose is to build, to create, to improve, and to dominate in whatever field he chooses. The greatest men in history were not men who wasted their time maintaining relationships. They were men who were so focused on their mission that everything else became secondary. Men are conditioned to believe that they need love, that they need companionship, that they need a partner to complete them. But the truth is that men are always alone. Even in a relationship, even in marriage, a man is still alone. His struggles are his own, his burdens are his own, and his success depends entirely on what he does for himself. No woman will save him, no relationship will fulfill him, and no amount of affection will replace the sense of purpose that comes from achieving greatness. The world respects men who prioritize themselves. The moment a man places a woman above his purpose, he loses. Women claim to want love, but they chase power. They claim to value kindness, but they reward dominance. They claim to desire security, but they crave unpredictability. The game is rigged, and the only way to win is not to play.